once you become a skydiver, you are welcome at any place where skydivers are.
Because you share a three-dimensional world that two-dimensional people will never understand. It's something that you cannot explain.
Skydiving is the ultimate freedom.
It's something that is very much indescribable.
We cannot fail because failure is very fatal.
So why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? The door was open and someone says go.
On your typical day, have you ever stopped what you were doing, looked up at the sky, and wondered what it would be like to float above the clouds? Some people say they would like to make a skydive one day, but few ever get the opportunity. For me, it was easy. Skydiving is in my genes. My father has owned and operated his parachute factory since 1980. And my mother was part of the 100-way world record for the most women in formation, even while pregnant with me. Growing up in a household with skydiving parents, I always knew that jumping out of an airplane was nothing unusual. In fact, when my 3 siblings and I were ready, the opportunity to skydive was inevitable. For me, that opportunity came on September 1st, 2007, when I took the first steps to earning my A license. Even in my first few skydives, I understood why people have made it their lifestyle. I quickly began to see a new and exciting pathway opening up before me. But I wanted to learn more about the sport from experienced jumpers. This is the story behind the skydiving life.
There was no doubt in my mind once I got started with skydiving that was going to be my life's work.
It was just something that I was meant to do.
I knew skydiving was for me because of the kind of individuals that were attracted to it. They're basically A-type personalities. They're very outgoing, they're very fun-loving, and they love to have a good time.
They do it not only to overcome fears, but they do it to prove to themselves that they can do something that they never thought they could do. They thrive on excitement, they thrive on challenge. They thrive on the ability to do things that other people don't normally do.
I always wanted to do the unexpected, and to me that was a very unexpected thing that I could do, that I could achieve, that I could become good at, which I did.
The neatest feelings I can ever remember is, being in the door, getting ready to jump, during the national championships. It's definitely something I'm craving to do again.
I can remember my first jump as clear today, 37 years later.
My first jump, July 1972. I was scared to death.
And as I went out, had a perfect, he said it was a perfect jump. I could look at it, and I remember his shit-eating grin out of the airplane looking at me, this big grin. I'm going, yeah! And it was great. It was great.
I hit the ground really hard because it was hot, and I was a big person, and boom, broke my leg.
Skydiving, while in the beginning you may think it's extremely risky or dangerous and everything, in reality it's not. It's a game of odds.
The malfunction rate for a ram air parachute is fairly high. It's 1 in 1,000 jumps. Malfunction does not mean you're going to die. Malfunction means that your main parachute is not fully functioning or working as it's supposed to. And once a jumper, whether you be a student or experienced jumper, recognizes that they have a situation on their hands that will not allow them to land with their primary or their main parachute, then they initiate the appropriate emergency procedures for that specific situation, and they have a backup with their reserve canopy, which is also on their harness and container system.
If you don't think every skydive you have is going to be a malfunction, you're messing up, because you have to be ahead of the game.
When you have a malfunction, when the main parachute doesn't open properly, you simply respond instead of react.
You're going to have one. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
The whole idea of skydiving is that you revert to your training.
Cut away the main, pull the reserve, land and go, woo, woo, woo. I mean, you're really pumped. You got 2 for 1, okay?
If that doesn't work, you better know how to pray to God, Muhammad, Jesus, all of them.
Today, there are very few equipment-related fatalities.
Most of those, and I would say 99% of those, are avoidable.
Most of the fatalities today occur after an experienced jumper finds himself under a perfectly usable, operational, landable, normally functioning parachute. And then they do some stupid, hey y'all watch this maneuver that takes their life.
Skydivers definitely have to do that whole, that sucks, shrug it off, keep going mentality.
It's a shame that it takes tragedies to make people learn.
I think a big part of it is just that, you know, we're all there for each other for, you know, good, bad, whatever happens.
Be very careful up there. See these guys? They're going to have a great time. The only reason I'm sitting here is because I'm doing this silly interview, or else I'd be jumping with them. Skydivers are totally alive. Skydivers don't have a death wish. Skydivers are totally aware of what they're doing, and they're so in tune with life. You're defying gravity. You're doing something that only the birds can do. It's an old saying, skydivers know why the birds sing. And we do, we truly do. Skydiving just wakes you right up and puts you in tune with your life and in touch with yourself like no other sport does.
It was just kind of our escape from reality. You know, you come out to the drop zone and you're totally cut off from the real world. And it's just a totally different society.
The drop zone community is very close-knit. They will clothe you, they will feed you, they will make sure that you are taken care of. And whether you sleep on the drop zone or you sleep in someone's home, you are welcome anywhere there is skydiving.
There are people from all walks of life whose only common element is jumping out of an airplane.
It brings a lot of different people together and that wouldn't ever hang out in the outside world.
It gives them the opportunity to literally travel anywhere and have a community that they are involved with that will welcome them with open arms.
In college, I had a group of girlfriends that I call the Charlotte girls, and you know, all ready to, right out of college, to get married, have babies, and the white picket fence. And they all kind of consider me the crazy one that went off and did stuff and, you know, wasn't ready to settle down. So when I moved to Atlanta, I met these kids and I immediately had a home. I was always kind of the oddball out with all the girls up in school, and when I moved here, I wasn't the crazy girl anymore, I was normal. And it's been great ever since. I've got a family, I've got, you know, they say that, you know, your family is who you choose, and our friends are the tightest family I've ever had.
They're still some of my best friends today because of the experiences we shared jumping out of airplanes.
The common bond is after you jump out of an airplane. Okay, once you've done it, and I'll tell you, it's only a very, very small percentage of people that do this.
And that really does develop a bond with people that is a lifelong and unbreakable bond, and it's very important. It's a very big part of skydiving. You know, I haven't been actively skydiving for more than 10 years. Last weekend I was on the drop zone for the first time in 10 years. And I was just, let's see here. I was just right at home.
I can only hope that one day everyone is lucky enough to find their own blue skies.